book talk is correct. Good morning. It is hella gloomy outside. It's so gloomy and dark outside. By the fact that most of my bookshelves are empty right now, I went into a booktube rabbit hole and I was watching people like tier rank their favorite books of the year and like review their favorite books of the year. I think I had a really good reading year, so I would love to review all the books that I read. I have them organized by how I read them in the year, so first to last. And I also have my laptop over here because some of the book I read on my Kindle, and I'm going to show you obviously the ones that I have, but if I don't have a paperback, I either read it on the Kindle or listened to the audiobook, or I had it and then I parted ways with it. I have a feeling this is going to be a very long video. I'm already losing my voice, so please grab yourself a beverage, grab yourself a snack, and we're gonna do this as quickly as we can because this will be a long video. I am a yapper, and if you leave me to my own devices, I will just continue yapping. Let's get into it. The Inmate by Frida McFadden. Kinda spooky. Psychologist, inmate, 5-star read. My Killer Vacation. Good mix of thriller and spice and romance. 3-star read. The Gift by Frida McFadden. Super short, kind of creepy story. 3-star read. The Locked Door by Frida McFadden. Daughter of a serial killer. 4.5-star read. Twisted Love by Anna Huang. Not my favorite in the series. 3.5-star read. The Coworker by Frida McFadden. Turtles. Too many details about turtles. 3-star read. The Perfect Son by Frida McFadden. Creepy when it comes to kids. Very creepy. 4 stars. Kiss Her Once for Me by Alison Cochrane. I love a queer romance. 5 stars. One Last Stop by Casey McQuiston. Again, a queer romance, but on the train with a cute biker girl, 5 stars. The Fine Print by Lauren Asher. Didn't really like Rowan as a character, but meh, 3 stars. The Wife Upstairs by Frida McFadden. Creepy situation, mystery thriller. I love Frida McFadden books, 5 stars. The X by Frida McFadden. Again, I feel like I love Frida's books, and this was a 5-star read for me. The Unhoneymooners by Christina Lauren. I loved the references to the cities that I live in because I'm from Minnesota. Very nostalgic, also very cute romance, 5 stars. Twisted Games by Anna Huang. My favorite in the series. I think I originally rated it 4 stars, but I would give it like a 4.5, 4.75 now. Never Lie by Frida McFadden. Another 5-star read because I like they moved into a house by a doctor and they find creepy stuff the doctor left behind, and yeah, 5 stars. Same time next year. I think this is the book where they get into a fake marriage so that the dude could keep his green card. I don't remember much else about it, but I remember it was a really good book. 4 stars. The Silent Patient. She kills her husband and stops talking, and they're trying to figure out why she killed her husband. 5 stars. Heartbones by Colleen Hoover. Very sad, but very good. 5 stars. One by One by Frida McFadden. They go on a vacation and they start disappearing one by one. 4 stars. Twisted Hate by Anna Huang. I remember when I read this, I liked it better than Twisted Games, but then as I continued to read it, I was like, oh, maybe a little less than Twisted Games. I rated it a 4. I would say it's like a 4.5. Flawless by Elsie Silver. This was the first DNF of the year. I think I read to like 70% and I just could not get into it. And I don't remember if I was just distracted or if I was in a slump or what, but I tried reading this book for weeks and like I would just pick something else up. So eventually I decided to DNF it. So we'll try Elsie Silver again in the future, but I think she was just not the author for me in 2024. So Verity by Colleen Hoover. 5-star read. A Not So Meet Cute by Megan Quinn. There's fake dating. There's a billionaire. It's so cute. 5 stars. Do Not Disturb by Frida McFadden. She kills her husband and goes on the run. Yeah. 5-star read. If He Had Been With Me by Laura Nolan. I actually had the copy of this book, read it, sobbed, and decided to get rid of it because I was like, I'm never reading this again. I can't be crying in a book like this. 4 stars. I went into the really short novellas that Amazon likes to come out with or Kindle likes to come out with. So the first one was The Exception to the Rule by Christina Lauren. Super short, cute story. 5 stars. Then I read Worst Wing Woman Ever by Abby Jimenez. Also really good, even shorter, 5 stars. Then I read Ward D by Frida McFadden. Are you kidding me? 5 stars. Then I went back to my short little novellas. I read Rosie and the Dreamboat by Sally Thorne. I don't remember what this was about, but I gave it a 4 stars. Then I read Drop, Cover, and Hold On by Jasmine Guillory. Also don't really remember what this was about. 4 stars. I read With Any Luck by Ashley Poston. Also don't remember what this was about, but 4 stars. And then Royal Valentine by Soraya Wilson. Again, I think I like binged these novellas back to back to back, and they were like, I was just like, it's cute. There's not really much for me to not like, but I remember liking it, so 4 stars for most of them. Then we went back to our regular books. I read The Summer of Broken Rules by K.L. Walter. I remember just like loving how cute and summery this romance was. It was so adorable. 5 stars. The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue. I Need More Books by V.E. Schwab. 5 stars. Twisted Lies by Anna Huang. I would rank it Twisted Games, Twisted Hate, Twisted Lies, then Twisted Love. And I think this was a 4 stars, maybe 4.2 stars. Beautiful Bastard by Christina Lauren. This was a classic enemies to lovers, office romance. I liked it. 4 stars. Before the Coffee Gets Old. I remember really liking these like short stories. The cafe has powers to send you back in time or send you through time. It was really good. 4 stars. Book Lovers by Emily Henry. This, I think, is my favorite book by Emily Henry. And I had a lot of her books, but I decided to like part ways with them because I think I read Book Lovers and then they kind of started going downhill from there. So I got rid of all her books. I loved it. I love a book about authors. I love it. 4.5 stars. Want to Know a Secret? She is a local celebrity. She makes a cooking show and then crazy shit starts happening. I think I rated it 4 stars. Normal People by Sally Rooney. Let me tell you, I finally finished this book in April of 2024. I think I started this book like April of 2023 and I just could not get into it. But then once I finally did, I loved it. So 4 stars. Rock, Paper, Scissors by Alice Feeney. I had my jaw on the floor like 3 or 4 times during this book. So good. 5 stars. Happy Place by Emily Henry. I know a lot of people love this book and it's their favorite book. I thought it was really slow in the beginning, then it picked up and I liked it towards the end, but not my favorite Emily Henry book. 3.5 stars. We're moving on to the next deck. Red, White, and Royal Blue by Casey McQuiston. First Son, Prince of England, queer romance, 5 stars. The Teacher by Frida McFadden. This book gave me the creeps. I don't like like a teacher-student situation. I don't like the minor situation. But I did have my jaw on the floor a few times in this book, and I still enjoyed it. 3 stars. The Midnight Library by Matt Haig. The main character in this book has depression and anxiety, so that hit close to home because same. And I really loved going through the journey with her in this book. 5 stars. Me Before You by Jojo Moyes. This was a little deep for me, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. 4.5 stars. Conversations with Friends by Sally Rooney. I remember thinking, I think it was like a age gap thing, and she gets into a relationship with a married man. So I don't know. Sally Rooney's writing style is very, like, there's no quotations if you've read any of her books. There's no quotations. So it's weird and kind of hard to follow, but I enjoyed it nonetheless. 4 stars. The Wife Between Us. I definitely made assumptions in this book and assume nothing. 5 stars. Little Fires Everywhere. I still need to watch the TV show, or maybe it's a movie, but I still need to watch it on Hulu. But it was a 4 stars. In 5 Years by Rebecca Searle. I loved how this book taught me to have a plan, but know that that plan can change. And I love the little magical realism about this. I love that she was, she experienced this moment 5 years in the future and then all of a sudden she's back in the present. I'm yapping too much about this book, but it was a 4.5 star read. Lock Every Door by Riley Sager. I was loving this book until the end because it was so incredibly unrealistic. So I gave it 4.75 stars. Local Woman Missing. A woman goes missing and then years later another woman and her kid go missing and then someone ends up dead and then the kid shows up alive, and this book took me on a roller coaster of emotions. 4.5 stars. ACOTAR. Oh my goodness. I think I started this book in May. Nope, I'm pretty sure I started in April and it took me a long time and I finished it in May. For the longest time, I didn't know what to rate this because the first 3 quarters of this book, hated. Absolutely hated. Like, I would rate the first three quarters a 1 and the last 100 pages or so a 5. So I'm going to meet it in the middle and say 3 stars. Behind Closed Doors by B.A. Paris. The Perfect Couple is not so perfect. I think I rated this a 3.8 stars, so I would say a 4 stars. A Court of Mist and Fury. I remember when I read this, I think I rated it like a 4.5, 4.8, between like that, but this is a 5-star read. This is a 5-star read. Outfox by Sandra Brown. This gave me very Criminal Minds vibes. This is a 4-star read. The Perfect Escape by Leah Conan. This wasn't a very memorable thriller, so it was a 3. 7 Days in June by Tia Williams. I'm obsessed with reading more books by Black women. 5 stars. Malibu Rising by Taylor Jenkins Reid. I actually had a copy of this book and then I parted ways with it because I was like, I'm never going to read it again. But I think I rated it 4 stars. The Woman in the Window by AJ Finn. Also a really good thriller, and I watched the Netflix movie and really good. 4 stars. The Couple Next Door by Shari Lapina. Very, very twisty. Lots of twists and turns in this book. Really good thriller. 4 stars. They Both Die at the End by Adam Silvera. I don't want to talk about it. 5 stars. Moving on to the next stack. You know what I should do is stand up and move it, but I'm not gonna. I'm gonna stay seated and have back issues. Oh man. Okay. Take a water break, everybody. Or a snack break, or a coffee break, or a tea break, whatever. Whew, I've been yapping for 30 minutes. My goodness. Whew. Dear Child by Romy Hausman, I think. Girl goes missing, shows up like 13 years later. 4-star read. Daisy Jones and the Six. This is another book that I had and parted ways with because I don't think I'll ever reread it. I think I gave it a 4 stars. Yes, I gave it a 4 stars. Pretty Things by Janelle Brown. This woman, she's in a con situation. I don't remember what else happened in this book, but I gave it a 4 stars. Delilah Green Doesn't Care by Ashley Herring Blake. I literally didn't even write anything about this book, but a queer romance, I gave it a 5 star. The Twin by Natasha Preston. WTF is all I can say about this book. 3 stars. My Other Baby of 2024, A Court of Wings and Ruin. 5 stars. Where the Crawdads Sing. I'm really glad I read this book before watching the movie. The movie was so good because I knew the context and like some stuff that wasn't in the movie. I'm yapping too much. This was a 4-star read. You Should Have Told Me by Leah Conan. This is about a new mom. Her baby is super fussy, won't sleep, and her husband goes missing, or he vanishes without a trace, and she has to figure out what the hell is going on. This is a 4-star read. A Court of Frost and Starlight, the fluffy Christmas novella. Glad I read it. 4 stars. The Princess Trap by Talia Hibbert. There's spice, there's fake dating, there's a real prince. It was really good. I think I rated it a 3.5, maybe 3.75, but I would say it's a 4-star read. Vacation Wars by Megan Quinn. These two people have been crossing paths for like 6-7 years, and they finally decide to do something about their insane attraction to each other. 3 stars. Small Great Things by Jodi Picoult. This was my second DNF of 2024, and it was hard because I'm going to go on a rant. Fair warning. I started reading this book. I got like 90-ish pages in, and I had to stop because this book is about a Black nurse. I am a Black nurse. She works in the NICU, I believe, or in the like mom baby section. I work in peds. I saw myself in the character. And the husband of the wife whose baby died, which I don't know if that's a spoiler or not. I don't remember what was on the back of the book, but all the racial slurs and the fact that he was a white supremacist, the fact that the KKK literally still existed. I think I soft DNF'd it. I feel like I will go back, but I was not in the headspace to read this because I felt like this character, the white dude, was like speaking to me, and it was extremely painful. Like he would be like the N-word this, and I just was like, no, not right now. I had the physical copy of this book and I had to get rid of it because I was like, I can't look at it on my shelf. I'm not in the mental space to look at this. The elections were coming up and you could see all the things that the candidates were saying, and I was just like, nope, not in the mental space to read this. So we'll probably get back to it at some point, but the way I felt reading the first, like, again, like 90-ish pages of this book is not a feeling I ever want to have ever in my life, ever. But unfortunately, it happens. So, okay, my rant is over. I'm sorry, I'm done. We're moving on. The 7-year slip. I needed a book like this after DNFing Small Great Things. I needed this book so much. I'm pretty sure I rated it a 4.5, but I would say this is a 5-star read. I will update my rating on Goodreads. This is 5 out of 5 stars. The Other People by CJ Tudor. I think this dude sees his kid in the back of a car and then gets a call from an unknown number that says his wife and kid are dead, but he just saw his kid alive in the back of a car. It was weird. This was a weird book, and I gave it a 4 stars. The Housemaid is Watching. My friend still has my copy of this book. I remember liking it for the nostalgia of loving The Housemaid and The Housemaid's Secret. And I think I gave it a 3.5 stars, maybe 3.75. It was all right. It was not my favorite Frida McFadden book for sure. November 9 by Colleen Hoover. Whew! Trigger warning. There's a suicide. And this was so sad. And then I got really mad when I found out some stuff. And this book took me on a roller coaster of emotions. So I give it a 4 stars. Wildfire by Hannah Grace. I love Russ and Aurora. In fact, I just love the characters in this Maple Hills series. I remember loving Icebreaker. Icebreaker was a 5-star read for me. This is more 4.5-ish. I just don't think the camp setting is for me. I loved so many aspects of this book. So yeah, 4.5 stars. Archer's Voice by Mia Sheridan. I remember thinking this was very heartwarming, but also a very predictable book, which that's not a bad thing. You know, when you start a romance book, it's not a bad thing to like predict what's going to happen. I remember just being a little bit underwhelmed, especially since it was so popular on Book Talk. So I think I gave it a 3.5 stars. 3.5. Oh my goodness. Okay. My biggest disappointment of 2024. I took a month to read this book, which I also took about a month to read ACOTAR. I still don't know what to rate it because I think I would rate it a little bit higher than ACOTAR, but it's like I like Frost and Starlight better than this book. So, like a 3.5 maybe? Yeah. Every Last Lie. I remember thinking if I were doing a tier ranking video, I would say probably shouldn't have read this. I don't know. I just remember feeling like there was stuff in this book that wasn't necessary, and I gave it a 2 star. I don't typically give books under 3 stars because for the most part, if I finish a book, it's like, okay, well, it was enough for me to finish it. So that's a 3. But I did not like this book and I wish I had DNF'd it. So it got a 2. We're moving on. If Only I Had Told Her by Laura Nowlin. This is another really sad book. It's the sequel to If He Had Been With Me, something like that. I also had this book and I parted ways with it because I will never read it again, and I was sobbing in this book, so it got a 4 stars. Whew. I've been yapping for 40 minutes and we're over halfway, but we're not done. Before I Let Go by Kennedy Ryan. Like, I love seeing Black women and Black characters in general just like enjoy their lives and just like, Anyway, divorced parents, second chance romance, Black people figuring shit out. This book, I give it a 4 stars, but I would probably say it's a 5-star read. So there we go. Beach Read by Emily Henry. This is another book that I was like, it's good. It's not very memorable, but it was good. And I think I gave it a 3.5 stars. All the Missing Girls by Megan Miranda. Another okay thriller book, 3 stars. Fangirl Down by Tessa Bailey. I literally said, I love a good sports romance, but falling in love in just a few weeks is wild to me. But still a cute book, so 3 stars. So Not Meant to Be by Megan Quinn. I thoroughly disliked the female main character for almost all of this book. Like, she was so judgy and judgmental of this dude, and I loved JP, and he carried this book on his back. I think I gave it maybe a 2 or a 2.5 star. I would say it's like a 3 star. It's not the worst book, but JP carried this book. The Surrogate Mother by Frida McFadden. It was predictable and I could tell how it was going to end, but I still enjoyed this book. 4 stars. People We Meet on Vacation by Emily Henry. Another okay book, but here's what I wrote. Is it too late for me to marry him? Well, there are 2 days to the wedding and he's gay, so I don't see why not. And that was my favorite line from the entire book. And I think this was a 3.5 star, maybe like 3.75 star. The Boyfriend by Frida McFadden. I was like shocked by the twist. And Frida's books are a little bit more predictable, but just because I've read a whole lot of them, by the way. It's not because Like if it's your first book, you probably would not see the twist coming, but I've read a lot of her books that I know how she sets up her things. I was truly shocked. 5 stars. Funny Story by Emily Henry. I remember just after reading it, I was like, meh. But as I read other books, I kept thinking back to things in Funny Story. So I feel like my rating changed because I would read a book that was like, meh, and I was like, but Funny Story was better than that. So I would give it a 3. Like I liked it, but again, it's not my favorite Emily Henry book. The Widow's Husband's Secret Lie by Frida McFadden. And I thought this book was extremely unhinged and so ridiculous. It was actually good. Like, how many times can she kill her husband? So 4 stars. A Good Girl's Guide to Murder, YA thriller. I think I'm into the YA thriller. 5 stars. Powerless by Lauren Roberts. I absolutely ate this book up. I listened to it on audio. And I know a lot of people say it's kind of like the Red Queen series. So my goal is to read Red Queen next year, but I give Powerless 5 stars. Daydream by Hannah Grace. Oh my goodness. Henry and Hallie. I think I gave it a 4.5 star, but I think I will update it to like 4.9 or 5 stars. I think Icebreaker was still my favorite in the entire series, so that's a 5 star. So yeah, this can be a 4.9 star. Fourth Wing by Rebecca Yarros. Book talk was correct. 5 stars. Iron Flame by Rebecca Yarros. The ending of this book, I can't wait for the third book. Like, I need it to be out right now. 5 stars. The Devil Wears Scrubs by Frida McFadden. I remember after reading Fourth Wing and Iron Flame, just thinking, I need like a good thriller after that. I need something completely different. Like, no romance, no fantasy, just like a good mysterious story. And I think this was not it. I don't remember, but I gave it a 3.75 stars. Divine Rivals, Ruthless Vows. I finished this, I listened to this on audio, and immediately started listening to this one on audio. Both 5 star reads. Book talk is correct. This Summer Will Be Different by Carly Fortune. I literally read this book. It's a summer romance, but I read it while it was snowing outside, and I thought it was so cute. Like, it brought some warmth, and I really liked that. 4 stars. The Last Thing He Told Me by Laura Dave. This was super fast paced and a good palate cleanser. 4 stars. How My Neighbor Stole Christmas by Megan Quinn. I would say this is a soft DNF because I read like 10% into the book and I genuinely have just not been in the mood to read Christmas books this year. I was going to do a 24-hour reading challenge where I only read Christmas books. Literally started it and I was like, I don't want to. So I scrapped that video. Maybe we'll do it next year. So that's why I say it's a soft DNF. So I will probably read this book, but like I just didn't feel like it now. So I'm going to put it on for 2025 and see if I feel like it then. This Could Be Us by Kennedy Ryan. Another 5 star read. I am so excited for women of color just like doing their shit. I love it. 5 stars. Instead of reading Christmas books, I decided to go into Crescent City by Sarah J. Maas. And I listened to this book, like the graphic audio book. Oh my goodness. 5 out of 5 stars. I need to finish this series before I get into Throne of Glass. So I'm so glad I started it, and I'm going to start book 2 probably before the year ends. 5 stars, if I didn't say that already. I think that's it. I've been talking for about 50 minutes and I can't stop yapping about books apparently. So I hope you had your snack. I hope you had your beverage of choice. I hope you enjoyed this video. Feel free to watch my other videos of 2024 because they're mainly like end of year wrap type videos. So my top books and stuff like that, which you saw all of them in this video. According to Goodreads, I read 104, even though I DNF'd 3 technically, so I don't know if it's counting that or not. Anyway, yeah, hydrate everybody. I've been yapping for far too long, so I'm gonna end it here. Thank you so much for going on this reading journey with me. Thank you so much for being here while I yap about all the books that I read this year. Thank you for what am I saying? Thank you for watching this video. I will see you in the next one.